Father's Watch is the 18th episode of the 28th season of The Simpsons, directed by Bob Anderson, and I quite liked this episode. It kind of put me in mind of the poem This Be the Verse from Philip Larkin, which is an absolutely fantastic poem. Definitely worth reading. It's basically about how any problems that you now have, they're problems your parents gave you, and their parents gave it to them, and so on and so forth. And this episode does touch upon that slightly, but it mostly looks at, well, ways of raising children and ways of not raising children. My love of child psychology and early years education definitely lapped up a lot of this episode because it mostly focuses on giving children positive reinforcements, but when does it go too far? Marge finds this woman who comes and gives a talk to all of the parents in Springfield, and this woman says that you should give children trophies, certificates, any kind of positive reinforcement. But Lisa is of the mind, and I agree to most extent, that trophies and achievements should be earned. You shouldn't just give them out for absolutely nothing. And this is a problem that they face when they try and reward Bart with this information in mind. But of course, as Homer kind of makes it obvious, what on earth could they reward Bart for? And Homer says that Bart's a screw up, and Bart overhears this. And he goes to his grandpa, and there's a really sweet exchange between Bart and Abe Simpson. And Abe Simpson gives Bart something to show that he actually believes in him. And I rather enjoyed that a lot. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's beautifully done. And it's a really lovely exchange between grandfather and grandson. We also get some information there about how his father treated him and the fact that Homer, whenever he says things to Bart, it's words that have been said to him. And this is kind of when I started to connect things with Larkin's This Be the Verse. And it rather amused me, and it just kind of made me expand how I was analysing this and what I was thinking about the episode. And honestly, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very thought-provoking, very fascinating, and I think it does a good job of highlighting the fact that it's all about balance. It makes it very clear you shouldn't ever call your kid a screw-up, even if you don't think they're in earshot, because you never know where they might be listening. But I think it did a good job of showing that positive reinforcement is important, but you also shouldn't just reward kids 24/7 for doing the most basic of things, because that's how people think they get an easy life, and then they don't have to put any effort in and they'll get rewarded. And then they become an adult and realize that actually, if you don't put the effort in, you won't get rewarded in the real world. And I think the episode did a good job of showing this, mostly through Lisa and the way she responded to things. But I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely a great episode, very thought-provoking. Milhouse did something unexpected as well. I feel like Milhouse is often a ticking time bomb, and we got a tiny glimpse of what that might be like if it went off. Definitely a great episode, great pacing, very sentimental, beautifully done, some lovely moments, a lot of great lessons, and some really great food for thought as well. Needless to say, A Father's Watch is one that I really thoroughly enjoyed and would be very, very happy to watch again.